Session and start our meeting. First thing on the agenda is taking Positive Steps of Service Award.
Okay, so we have several people that we want to nominate tonight. This one here is probably going to be a surprise. So Wisconsin Rural Schools Alliance, we're members of that organization. And so we had a group of people who were nominated for award, and we had an individual nominated for the award. So we're going to talk about that individual first. So Maureen Palmer, could you step forward? So Maureen Palmer was nominated for the Support Staff Member of the Year. Wow. Nice shiny plaque. See, she didn't even have to create the plaque. Look at that.
The only thing she has.
Yeah, right? So I think she didn't do the whole board. So I'm going to read part of the nomination that was submitted for Maureen. Writing this letter to nominate Maureen Mo Palmer as the Wisconsin Rural Staff Member, Support Staff Member of the Year. Mo has been a rock star support staff member in our district for over 25 years. She serves as an educational assistant, worked on a summer cleaning crew, was an administrative assistant in the primary school, and for the last 14 years has served as the administrative assistant, the district administrator, and the Board of Education in the School District of Lodi. I've had the privilege of working with Mo for the past 17 years in my different roles within the district. As administrative assistant to the district administrator and the Board of Education, Mo is one of the faces the community has come to know and trust over time in the district. When someone stops by the district office with a question, a concern, criticism, they always greet with a warm smile and a greeting, and are listened to completely and feel that their message has been heard by a trusted person in the district. That idea, that she's a trusted person in the district office, is not to be glossed over. She has earned that trust of students, families, staff members, board members in our community. She is able to instantly build rapport with someone who is brand new to the district, just the same as someone who has worked or lived in the district for 30 years. This rare set of skills, the ability to put someone at ease, to make them feel welcome and heard, and to follow up on concerns they share in a timely manner is truly amazing. Mo is one of the people who puts the pride in Lodi pride. The student, staff, faculty, and school board and community of Lodi are very fortunate to have someone of Mo's caliber and talent serve the district for the past 25 plus years. We're all better for having Mo as part of our lives individually, and as a school district of Lodi would not be the place it is without Mo. We are so grateful for her dedication and service. I can't think of a finer person to represent the Wisconsin Rural Schools Alliance as a support staff member of the year than Mo. There's also a couple other paragraphs. So, Mo's going to get a raise. You have anything you want to say, Mo?
Thank you. You know, Mo, my kids still talk about you.
Yeah, you guys should all go.
Mrs. EL's class.
Let the whole board go.
Oh, thank you. You're amazing. You seriously are.
Probably be in there too, then. Should be in there too. You should be in there too.
Yeah, but if I stand in the front, they won't see Mo.
You guys all move that way a little bit.
I've had that hide in my office for like 3 months.
I was gonna say, there's a reason that wasn't on the agenda.
Yes.
There was. Had to be a surprise.
All right, so the other group that was nominated was the Wisconsin Rural School Alliance Community Partner of the Year. So the school district administrative team is nominating the Lodi Coffee Cart for their incredible support and dedication for the school district of Lodi staff and students. This initiative started out during the pandemic, during a time when the staff morale was low. This group, along with others, took the initiative to personally show the staff that there are numerous people in our community that truly support and appreciate all the work our staff does toward providing for the students and families in the community. They did this by partnering with Lodi Piggly Wiggly and other local businesses to purchase coffee, drinks, and small snacks for every staff member across our 4 schools, grades 4K through 12. But rather than just placing these items in the lounge with a sign for staff to stop and pick up, these people went above and beyond, went classroom to classroom with a coffee cart saying thank you to the staff and dropping off some goodies. This monthly appreciation continues, and it has been shared by more and more businesses, and more families have donated to this cause. The staff look forward to these Fridays more than anyone could possibly realize. The coffee and snacks are wonderful, but the staff appreciate the personal touch of these individuals stopping by and saying thank you the most. So thank you, everybody, for what you do. We really appreciate it. We have payment for all your work. And a nice plaque suitable for framing, which has been great.
Oh, where are we going with that?
So there you go.
Put it on your card.
Put it on a card.
So we should go take your picture quick.
Yes, we should.
And then you can come back and share. You guys all want to go? Why don't you guys all go?
I love seeing those pictures.
So,
Maybe use this in our presentation.
Oh, yeah, the corner too.
Do the lighting. All right, here we go. We got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, we have prepared a coffee cart for you, obviously. So you can just take a moment, is that okay?
yeah, you're good.
And we will show you what coffee cart's all about for those of you who are here, so. Yeah.
I got to be there one day. I have sat in a coffee cart before.
Don't forget your payment.
Oh, yeah, we'll take your payment, don't worry. Yeah, so we're gonna come around and deliver a little bit of joy to each of you, so you guys can feel what it feels like as the teachers get coffee cards. Actually, they're all getting it this Friday. And Stephanie and I started this with the Piggly Wiggly. Well, actually, we started it, and then the Piggly Wiggly jumped on almost right away. And we're working with this the whole time, and now we've like grown to this huge community of people. Yeah, I mean, this is like, Stephanie and I decided we are now the CEOs. We run it, yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so the ladies, we're all gonna come around, offer you just like as we would with for the teachers, and, you know.
You can take one of everything, and you can take one thing, you can take whatever you need to get through this meeting.
Yeah. The coffee is
Whatever you
decaf.
need to
Might
get
be
through your
requesting you
day.
more often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right.
And even Caleb gets some today.
Yeah. Go for it.
The students
Go for it.
that miss out.
Well, I was looking back at the days, thinking like, I keep telling everyone this is our 4th year, but actually, this is our 5th year. Because we started in the 2021 school year.
Yep.
And so I was like, wait a minute, that's 5 years. So thank you guys so much. Yeah, thank you. And this month, our sponsor for our coffee cart is Lodi Utilities. So they were our sponsor, so they're our special treat sponsor.
And just so you know too, the special treat is like the cookies, but everything else is given every single month by the Piggly Wiggly for free to us.
Thank you.
Yes.
So every month, like not just once, every month.
Maybe you said this and
Sure. Do you wanna come around the
maybe you
front,
said this and I missed it,
Yeah.
so is your sponsor then, is it for the week, for the month? How do they usually
For the
do it?
month, so
Okay.
we get a monthly special treat sponsor, and then that is for all buildings, yeah. We kind of have it set up as a lump sum that we do each month for the business or family, and then, yeah.
We got a little extra this month to do that for here from the Lodi Utilities. And we try to get the treat local businesses as well. So, you know, we'll order like cookies from the Piggly Wiggly Bakery or Buttercream Bakery we've used. The coffee truck that's out here, we've used that before.
The meat market.
Meat market. And we also use Windsor Bakery.
Yeah, Mr. Schnell.
Yes, yep.
It's the best.
Yeah. So we just try to bring as much local business in as possible.
That's awesome. Yeah, I look forward to these pictures when they go out on
Yeah,
social media.
yeah, and the students have embraced it and love it, and as I think when he was in 2nd grade, he said, my teacher's just so much happier when it's coffee cart day.
That's a good choice.
And then there's some.
Yeah, you're good?
I'll have another too.
Thank you guys. You're welcome, enjoy, enjoy.
The candy nuts are the biggest hit.
They are, yes. And the primary school one. And, you know,
cashews. There's only one, I think those go last one. But there's cashews. Thank you, guys. Should we sneak around you?
If you can, just be careful.
Stay right there, bud.
Yeah, this is our.
New government, yeah.
Just be really careful.
Well, now I know why the teachers talk about this, you feel like.
Yeah, you kind of like.
And I got to be honest though, it gives you the best high. The Fridays that we do this, it's not like, it's so good after doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
I believe it, yeah. Well, thank you guys. You're welcome.
Would you like a lid?
No, I'm joking. We get staff. I'll use my true voice. When we have interviews, almost every time the favorite question, that I just wait to hear the answer for is why should we come to Lodi, right? Like when people who are getting interviewed, and every time a staff member will say, well, coffee cart. And it's definitely something that not just helps us here, but also recruit people a little bit.
Well, and we're recruiting the students, because let me tell you, a lot of them say, can we have coffee? Can we have coffee? And they know our answer every time is, when you're a teacher in Lodi, you can get
Nice
coffee.
answer.
So we're
Thank you.
aspiring new upcoming.
You're just making our job easier together.
We're helping everybody, yeah.
I just know it's sometimes these little things that just really, where I work at Oakwood, we have what's called the Thrive Committee. And that's, everyone thrives here is what we say. And I just remember one year during Johnny Appleseed Day, I went around with one of our administrators in training with apples and, little caramel packets and, went to all the staff, just, here you go.
Yep.
Here's
Yeah.
some strawberry Fanta.
Everyone just wants to be thanked,
Yeah,
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 regardless of what you do.
exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do you need a soda? No.
Coffee.
And you?
And thanks for bringing decaf.
Yes.
During the day, it's really a good thing.
While they're doing that, we're gonna move on. So it's connected to the coffee cart. So we also have a Taking Positive Step award or Taking Positive Step for Service award for the Piggly Wiggly, right? And Bryce is here, so we really appreciate the Piggly Wiggly has been an essential support of the Lodi Coffee Cart. Providing the monthly foundational snack contributions that made this initiative possible. Through their generosity, educators in the community are celebrated monthly with coffee, treats, and snacks, reminding them of the immense value they bring to our schools. Their unwavering commitment to supporting educators is a testament to the community-focused values we honor with the Taking Positive Steps to Service Award. So, Bryce, thank you so much.
Probably all want to come up, don't they?
Obviously, we appreciate all the community support, and it's just, our duty and job to give back to the community as well. So that's, it's an integral part of everything we do, so.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because I know that you donate much more than
Yes,
this
yeah.
to the schools and the community, so we really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
So we're gonna picture you in front there as well. And all the kids, if you wanna take your kids, bring the kids. You guys wanna take your picture?
Girls? That one.
I see you guys in basketball.
This smells really good.
That was like football games rolling around, kind of.
And I would have to go look them up.
Yeah, I got real soon.
Just a good
Are those peanut butter right there?
on
the right is, or
It looks like peanut butter. I'm not sure it's gonna picture. Thank you for your
Trust us.
Thank you.
I think it looks like maybe
Raisin, sure.
Oatmeal raisin.
That's like a
These ones they're learning. But he's 12, so like this summer he was able to pick up a job. So it worked out.
Thank you.
Yes, we
Oh, yeah. The other part I would say that for the coffee cart though, if somebody gets to push the cart, it's very rewarding. They asked Nick and I to do it, I think the first spring or something, and we got to push around. That was a lot of fun. Like, people are, when a superintendent walks in the building, they're not always so excited to see you. They were bouncing to see that day, so it's pretty rewarding.
So you just need
Thank
a
you
card
for
every
letting
time.
us get into the schools and letting us do our thing, so appreciate it.
Thank you guys so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you guys. Enjoy
And the
your
little
coffee.
Carters.
Yes, thank you.
Future.
Future Carters.
Yeah.
I have one more. Positive Step Service Award, yeah. Yeah, we are. So the last Taking Positive Steps Service Award is going to go to Brent Richter, who has served as our business manager since forever, since 2007. He has not only served the district, but the community through his time in the district. Brent's guiding hand has helped the district continue to grow. It's one of the premier school districts in the area, while always being mindful of school budgets and the impact they have on our taxpayers and community. He's worked diligently to communicate in simple terms the complex nature of school funding, referenda, and equalized value. Brent has been a resource for our community members, our staff, our administration, our board. I can't say thank you enough to Brent for his work on behalf of students in our district, the support he has provided me personally as I transitioned to the role of superintendent 5 years ago. Brent will still be a fixture in our community moving forward and a resource for many of us, but we'll miss the day-to-day wisdom he brings to our district. We wish Brent nothing but the best as he retires here at the end of the month, and we give him a $100,000 bonus for leaving.
Now that you're all ready for my speech.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you. It's been a really great journey. Lodi's been a wonderful place. And thank you, Mike Shimshak, for hiring me a long time ago. Remember that guy? He took a chance on me. I was number 3 in the interview process. So he took a chance, and what a great opportunity to be here. And just lastly, aside from just having a great opportunity for my kids to have a wonderful education and meet a lot of great people, one of the things that is really, this time that I'm going right now, that is a super strong team right there, and your leader is an exceptional. So you guys, with referendum and a supportive community, are in a wonderful spot. And I was just thinking about this on my way home today. We are really in a place where Dr. Breinig always says the best is yet to come. So I look forward to see what's going to happen in Lodi. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more.
Absolutely.
Typically not a taller guy.
Joe wants his height.
Joe gets it.
So it's behind the camera.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, one more, 1, 2.
That's a couple days here.
Ever moved this much?
Yeah, right? Oh, next month you will do. And so the other piece, obviously with someone stepping away, we have someone new stepping in. So we are thrilled that Jason Brewer is here with us tonight. He is joining us. He actually officially started last week, so the great thing is he came back after first week, right? No, Brent has done a great job of putting a transition program together for Jason, and we are so excited that have the opportunity to have Jason work with us and be a part of this team. So welcome, Jason. Look forward to continuing to work with you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Congratulations.
No $100,000 for you.
Not yet, not yet.
The new business manager wouldn't approve it.
All right. That was fun.
I bet put that to work.
I know. That was, okay, all right, we gotta go back to the real stuff here. All right, so we do not have, a presentation tonight, and we do not have public input. So we are gonna move on to our consent agenda items. So we had our minutes, we have our vouchers, we have a fundraiser request from the girls' basketball pink out fundraiser. We have no fundraiser reports. We have a field trip request for FFA halftime conference in Stevens Point. We do not have any committee recommendations right now for approval. Under other, we have our CISA 5 business service agreement. Resignations, we have primary school education assistant, a play director, and a Thailand exchange program advisor, and we do not have any retirements. Under co-curricular, we have a volunteer baseball coach, volunteer middle school girls basketball coach, and a middle school assistant girls basketball coach. Under crew, we have 2 lifeguards, a water aerobics instructor, crew volleyball supervisor, and a crew volunteer. Under regular staff, we have primary school special education assistant level 2, general music primary and OSC school long-term sub, long-term special education assistant sub, business manager, classroom support volunteer, recess volunteer, and primary school education assistant. And under now, we have
Agenda as presented.
motion by Sarah Ramish, second by Terry. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes 6-0. All right, we're gonna move on to our administrative reports. We are starting with Lodi Middle School.
All right, good evening, board. Run this, and what happens is they come in 1 to 2 mornings a week, not the whole year. I don't know exactly what the time frame is, but they learn about agriculture. They'll do some field trips during the year and learn about some different ag-related careers. But this is the tower garden. So they have a tower. Michelle Howe has a tower garden in her room that actually they cultivate lettuce out of. So they take the lettuce out of here and they actually take it down, and we are able to serve it through our lunch. So it's a great opportunity for them to get some hands-on experience with some plants in January or in December. So it's just I want to make you aware of that class that we run, which is great for kids. Then just make you aware, iReady testing is happening this month. We're super excited to see our results as we move forward and show off the hard work of our kids and our teachers. We want to honor the students of the month for their kindness was the theme for the month for November. These students make our school a better place each and every day by being kind to each other, because that kindness just passes along to everybody else. So whether it's their kindness to our staff or whether it's their kindness to their peers, they make Lodi Middle School a great place for everyone. Moving on to our school assembly. So we had a new assembly this year where we played a game called wall ball. And for lack of a better term, it is a variation of kickball. And so we brought everybody in our school down, and 6th, 7th, and 8th grade participated in wall ball. And it's a great opportunity just to get everybody together in one place, and really just a celebration of our school. So that's, and actually, coincidentally, we had another assembly today where it was staff versus student volleyball, which was great too. So we will see some pictures of that next month. I want to acknowledge Ashley Gulbronson and Angela Roberts for their winter concert. It's really clear all of their hard work, the growth of our program over time has been incredible, and we just want to say thank you for them for their service and look forward to our programs continuing to grow. I do want to honor our food service Taher. One thing they do, they make, not only do they do a great job as like a business and like running and the food they make, they also do a really great job of creating a culture in the kitchen that they are kid-friendly. And one of the things they do, like they joined our dress-up days, they decorated the kitchen with holiday themes and everything like that. So I just want to, it's a small thing, but that is what, it takes a million little things to make a great school. And they recognize that, and they're a big part of that as well. So I just want to say that. Pillar 3, Innovative Community Connection. We are hosting a blood drive This Friday, there's plenty of room. I don't know if there's plenty of room actually anymore. There's some room to sign up if you're interested in that. The reason we like to host this at the middle school, because it is, even though our middle schoolers cannot donate, it helps them just envision themselves as adult, understanding that this is a need and seeing themselves as donors. So we really think it's a great opportunity for us just to be a mentor in terms of like hosting. They also can get prizes if they bring in a donor and let us know. Then the Red Cross gives them, I think it's a little flashlight this time too. So a great way to bring awareness to that. And then for district workforce, SWAT stands for Staff Wellness and Appreciation Team, and they do various projects throughout the year with our staff to honor them. And one of the things they do for the holidays is the holiday cookie exchange, where each staff member is welcome to come in, and they each bring their own batch of cookies, and then they kind of exchange cookies and leave with a bag of goodies before they leave. And that is all I have for the middle school.
Thanks, Eric. High school.
All right, thanks, Heather. First of all, in the classroom, I wanted to mention 3 different classes. One of them is Field Ecology, which is run by Leo Olson. And they had a really unique opportunity. They went to the State Chronic Wasting Disease Processing Center in Poynette. And it facilitates about 20,000 deer across the state. And our students not just went there and toured, but a few students also got to gear up and get hands-on experience in extracting lip nodes from deer submitted by hunters, which gets submitted to a lab for testing and cataloged in the facility. So it was a really good experience for them. The next one is Fayette, and I've mentioned this before last year. We have a scuba diving team. His name is Don for Breezewood Bubbles that comes in and works with our students, and Karen Goheen, who is the Fayette teacher that runs that. It's a really good experience for them. One of these years I am gonna get in the pool and scuba dive. I'm hoping to do that. I'm not sure if my students are ready for me to do that, but that's okay. Health class. Health class, Mrs. Poles' health class, she does a really good job teaming with different schools, and she has done something with our OSCE students and teachers over the years. It's called Blue Devil Buddies. She works with Abby Bulwig and Jessica Holman, so you can see a picture of them, and they get together their classes, and they do some activities that create a really good culture and climate, not just at the high school, but at the elementary school. So I really appreciate all of their efforts in that. Holiday concert, like Derek had mentioned, I do want to recognize Doug Haift, who is our band director, and Kate McCrae, who is our chorus director. They do an amazing job getting our kids ready for that. And then the highlight every year is the Hallelujah Chorus. If you're there, you know what I'm talking about. So it's not just students, but it's alumni, staff members that get to go up and sing. So it's a great opportunity for them. I did want to mention Adam Sheldon, who you've met. He's our new powerlifting coach for our club powerlifting, and they did have their first competition up in Adams Friendship, which was a great experience, and you can see how some of the kids did up there. So I envision that program growing every single year because Adam has a really good connection with kids, so I just wanted to mention that. Leading up to holiday break, we had our 12 days of holiday cheer, and you can see Pam Cunningham, Lynn Werderitz, and Jill Gord, our 3 admin assistants who do an amazing job. I really want to thank them for that. Some of the highlights were door decorating and our Lodi Pride gift basket. You can see the homerooms that won. And then I wanted to mention Blue Devil Manufacturing, Heidi LaHue from the Chamber of Commerce, and our Lodi Athletic Booster Club, who donated lots of items that went in our gift basket that was won by Lodi Blue Devil Manufacturing teacher, Sue Ziegler. So she brought prizes down, we put them in a basket, she got them right back. So congratulations to Sue. You can see our Students of the Month, you can check them out. We also had our FFA blood drive, and we came really close to getting to our goal. We had 41 units out of 46. It saved 123 lives. It's not just about collecting units of blood, which is obviously the main reason we do that, but we also earn scholarships. So LHS has earned a $1,000 scholarship tier, which is one more, and with one more drive, we can earn $1,500 in scholarships from the Red Cross. So I appreciate Mr. Anderson, and I especially appreciate Senior Vivian Belt for all the work that she has done with our blood drives over the last year. Final exam schedule is there. I'm not going to go through that, but you can see some of the expectations for students and staff, plus the weather contingency plan that we have, which I don't think we're going to need to use this week. It looks pretty good. I also want to remind parents out there that it is open campus during lunch, so they can leave, go home, or go to any place in Lodi, hopefully just in Lodi to get their lunch, and then come back. Lunch is a little bit longer. It's 40 minutes as opposed to 30 minutes. Upcoming event, Rock the Gym. is this Friday. It's a big fundraiser for our booster club. Tip-off for the first game is the girls, they play Lake Mills. And then the nightcap, it says the boys play Lake Mills, but they do not. They play Columbus, starting at around 7:30, so it should be a fun evening. Lots of opportunities for people to win prizes. And then I included this last year, but I just wanted to include it. This is the rotation for Rock the Gym, so wrestling is involved as well. And we may have to consider girls wrestling.
I was just gonna say, what are
in
you
the
gonna do
next-
with girls wrestling
in the
when
next
that
couple of years
happens?
as far as including them in Rock the Gym. I did want to put in a quick link to a video that our science department put together, and all of our departments have been putting these links together for our Blue Devil Bulletin every month, and it's basically how to help your child navigate through high school. And this month they talked about finals and some of the things that they can do to prepare. You can see the Advocate broadcast, the most recent one in December, and I added this on just today. So last week, Heidi LeHue from the Chamber called me and said, "Can I come over and embarrass one of your staff members?"
You said, absolutely.
I
That's
said,
one
yes,
to
we love
embarrass.
embarrassing people here. So Pam Cunningham is our Citizen of the Year. So she's
Awesome.
yeah. So she's our admin assistant in the library or in the office, and she works with me directly. She's amazing. She greets everybody with a smile. She's nice to everyone. She sometimes is not afraid to be a parent of a child if she needs to be. But I think the big thing that she does that takes a lot of her time, not during school but outside of school, is the Santa Project that she is in charge of, and that's been going on for a long time. So we really appreciate Pam, and I'm very happy for her. And she will be in the Susie the Duck Parade, which she's really excited about.
Yes, she is,
I
I'm
bet
sure.
she is.
That's awesome.
So that is the high school.
Well, I'll be
Thank
there
you.
yelling for
Thanks, Joe.
Yep.
So will I. Oh, look at all,
Caleb.
all the neighborhood.
Thank you, Heather. So, I just got a few things I want to highlight here. First of all, mock trial. Our JV mock trial team won their bracket at the Brookfield Central Tournament, which is just the biggest tournament of the year besides regionals and state. They won the appellate court division with 339 points to Brookfield's 328 points, which is just an absolute honor, and they killed it as always. So we're very proud of them, and a huge congrats to all. In my report also there's a list of the next 3 dates, if anyone is interested in coming. This weekend, the Mark Wright's Memorial Tournament at Baraboo County Courthouse, which is hosted by Lodi. Next week, the Sun Prairie Scrimmage, which is on a Thursday night. And then the regional tournament, the big one, February 1st at the Genoa County Courthouse. And there is a link there to the full schedule on the mock trial website. And if you're interested in attending, please check out the Observers tab of the mock trial website, I've been told. There are certain decorum issues there for observers to abide by.
So those 2 January dates,
So
is that just
behave.
varsity or is that JV too?
No, that's JV and
And varsity? Okay.
yeah. And then, this is a huge honor for both the students attending.
No throwing anything though.
Oh, no.
Sorry, curriculum. Nick. Just picturing us out there.
Singing along.
So the first item that's gonna pop up that you'll see is the Youth Apprenticeship Grant. So annually, Connor Anderson applies for this grant. Through CISA 5, we received $2,700 this year for that grant, and those dollars go back to students to get them the equipment that they need, or if they have to work towards a certification for their work opportunity that they're involved in. I include a little bit of information in there as well about some additional funding that we get from the state for every student that participates in youth apprenticeship, and how we try to filter those dollars back into those career technical education programs. Below that, then I dive a little bit into math facts. As you know, we've seen the great focus that math fact practice has had at the 6th through 8th level. We've really been honing in on that at the K-5 level. Feel good about some of the things that we have going on with that, so I give a little description of that on there. But that also filters into a fun opportunity that students are starting to take advantage of at the elementary school level called Math 24. And I have a few pictures on here, but I just want to say a big thank you to Mrs. Jessica Holman, who's one of our advisors at OSC. And what you see here in those pictures, that's actually her during her lunch break providing opportunities for both OSC students and elementary school students who want to practice Math 24 to come in and practice together. So there, I know it was probably around 20 to 30 students were at OSC from both the elementary school and OSC practicing and playing Math 24. And if you're not familiar with Math 24, if you kind of scroll back up to that card there, the object of the game is to use addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. You have to use each of the 4 numbers to make 24. And so you'll get 4 students around each other. The card gets put down. The first student to touch the card and be able to say how they got to 24 is the winner. So can anybody figure out how to get to 24 using that one?
Can't see it.
Okay, why do you put us on the spot? You could have warned us a little bit.
3 times 4 plus 5 plus 5.
Anybody? Who has it? Say it all
5
loud.
plus 5
5 times 3
plus 4. Oh yeah, we can multiply.
5 times 3,
I was
I
gonna keep
heard,
adding.
it's 15, plus 5 is 20,
20.
plus 4 is 24.
Yeah.
Was that Derek that did that?
Brad.
Oh.
It was me.
Oh, well,
He had it 10 minutes ago, he was just sitting over there, waiting for the rest of it.
Dr. Carls, were these not part of like curriculum or schools for a while? I just remember my kids, I mean, this is, they're
Oh, gosh, yeah, my kids were real
26,
competitive
24,
about it.
24 now, but I mean, I remember this
Oh, my girls.
for them.
Yeah, and that's the part of a small rural town and a system, right? A lot of time, and this is, so yes, this happened before, and then it fell off.
Okay, okay.
An opportunity for students.
back
And,
again.
well, why did that fall off? It fell off because you're so reliant on an individual, right? Who just, out of the goodness of their heart likes to do that. And then if they retire or those responsibilities get shifted and they get kind of lost in the wash, that opportunity falls off for students. And so we had that for a little bit and so we're really, over the past few years, have tried to refocus ourselves on some of these academic opportunities. We can almost look at them as like advanced learner, gifted and talented opportunities, but are available for all kids. Spelling bee would be another one, I'm about to talk about that.
So the same thing with math facts then too? I mean, that's how I met Mo, is she was Mrs. EL's EA, or, she
I
was
thought you were
one
doing
of the
math
kids.
facts.
That's how I met, I did math
No, I was
facts.
saying just you.
No, yeah, no, I did, I would go in and do
Yeah.
math facts with
We've
her.
always practiced math facts. What we're really trying to do is uniform our approach in how we teach math facts at Lodi. So teachers have done a great job, but they each maybe would do it in a little bit different way.
Gotcha.
Or sometimes some teachers might use an electronic tool to do it, where others maybe do the old school math flashcards. We're trying to develop a routine that can be built upon through a scope and sequence. To lead them to the middle school, so can hand them off,
And
and
to do.
they can be engaged in the middle school fact practice routine that's been so successful. So that's kind of, so it's not that math fact practice hasn't been going on,
Sure.
we're just trying to uniform our approach.
Got it.
The next one then is the spelling bee, actually the
How'd it go?
district-wide spelling bee happened today. It was in the PAC, has it ever been in the PAC before?
We moved it, so
Genius.
it was really big last year.
Was it after school?
Too big for the middle school, yeah. So we moved it up to the high school, and it made a nice formal setting, I thought, today.
It was great.
How'd it go?
It went wonderful. Yeah, the students did great. They were very respectful. I would have been a little nerve-wracking being up there, but it just, like you said, it created a really formal setting, I think,
Yeah.
for the students. I think the more things that we can do in the PAC, the better.
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful environment. But a huge thank you to Patty Heintzman, and I'm trying to think of who all was involved from
Lori Gwynn, Lori has volunteered as long as we've had this at the middle school. She does she kind of runs it. She does the pronouncing of the words and telling them how to spell it if it's not correct. Mr. Clade was a judge, but he also was an announcer by rounds. He did a really good job of that. And then Yolanda Schrader also volunteered time to be part of it as well. So yeah, it's a nice team people.
So we had a champion and then a second place, and those two individuals will go to Portage to the regional script spelling bee competition in about a month, babe?
January 28th, I thought she said.
Oh, so not a month, so right around the corner.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool that
That's exciting.
their certificate said it was the 100th year this year, which made me think of all of us that probably did these spelling bees, like, 'cause it's been going on for
Yeah.
100 years. I thought that was pretty neat, so.
That is cool.
The picture here is actually of our fifth grade students. We recognize, so the fifth grade in Lodi is the first year where they are involved in the district-wide spelling bee, okay? So they have the opportunity, if they win the district spelling bee, they can go to write the regionals. But we know that they've never participated in a true spelling bee before, and so we try to alleviate a little bit of that stress for our fifth grade students. Eric and I started this last year by taking them through a WIN prep session, and we're really thankful we had, again, Mrs. Jane McMahon, who's a retired gifted and talented coordinator from another district, who just so happens to live in the Lodi School District boundaries. And she also runs the state script spelling bee.
Oh,
So
nice.
she comes in and she gives the fifth grade, she runs them through a couple of practice sessions, and then she gives them some tips and tricks for when they go to the district bees, okay? So they know a little bit of what to expect, so we're really thankful of that.
That's awesome.
And then the last item on here, AI has been an ongoing topic, I think, for education, and what does that mean for education, and how do we integrate its use? What does that mean for ethical use from a staff standpoint, from a student standpoint? We're gonna continue to have those discussions here in the School District of Lodi. Mr. Potter is going to be doing a little presentation for a portion of our board at the upcoming curriculum committee meeting, so I'm just putting that on your radar in case anybody is interested in attending and learning more.
Thank you so much, Nick. LCAT.
Thank you, Heather. All right, so Brian continues to teach the Prime for Life program to students who violate the school's substance use policy. One student was taught the program in December, bringing the total number of students taught since September to 5. Brian and Sarah applied for the Columbia County Opioid Abatement Grant via Prevention and Response Columbia County. They have been informed that they will receive $100,000 for the 2025-26 period, with the possibility of renewal for 26-27. These funds will be utilized to implement prevention programming across Columbia County, including Lodi, so it's a big county grant. Brian and Sarah have applied for a 2-year tobacco control grant from the state of Wisconsin in partnership with Prevention and Response Columbia County, PARC. PARC has held that tobacco grant for the past 5 years and is seeking to reapply to maintain funding. A decision regarding the grant award will be communicated to Brian and Sarah in March of 2025. The requested grant amount of $69,650, which will allow PARC to continue essential activities such as tobacco compliance checks and tobacco prevention programs throughout the county, including the Lodi School District, and expand into Dodge County. Brian and Sarah have been diligently finalizing the scorecard for LCAT, which ensures that our work aligns with the strategic plan. As LCAT wraps up its final projects of 2024-25 school year, it is also beginning to plan for future initiatives in the 25-26 school year.
Awesome. Thank you. Adria.
Thank you. Good evening. Our transition coordinator, Adora Bilsey, hosted an in-person and virtual presentation last month. This was open to students and their families to learn more about the 18 to 21-year-old transition program. Participants learn more about the many pathways that students can take while in the transition program, like independent living skills, employment skills, and post-secondary education. Part of that presentation was also a student and parent panel. 4 parents and 2 students were able to share their experience in that program and answer questions for the group. 18 high school students participated in a student conference called Tools for Success at Madison Area Technical College at their Reedsburg campus. This conference had sessions including financial aid, money management, rights and responsibilities when students turn 18 applying to post-secondary school, the differences between high school and college, assistive technology, and some current career trends. So thank you to Adora Bilsey for organizing the event, and also Nick Franciscovich and Abby Turner for supporting our students on the trip.
So there was 18 of them, who got to go? Or like, was it a sign up or?
Yep, so this activity was specific to our students with disabilities.
Okay.
And it was open to any freshmen through seniors that wanted to attend.
Awesome.
Our second round of our wellness poster campaign was launched in late December. The Wellness Committee focused on mental health and created posters to demonstrate ways to strengthen our mental health. We highlighted our educational assistants during this project because they are trusted adults that our students can talk to when they need help. We had around 20 educational assistants that wanted to participate in the campaign. We also provided resources for staff who may be in need of additional support for their mental health. This included our Employee Assistance Program and also our partners at the Psychotherapy Center of Wanakee, who offer virtual and in-person therapy at times that are convenient for teachers. And finally, we have our on-site wellness screening coming up next week. And thanks to our partners from Dean Health for providing this preventative care for our employees.
Thank you so much. Primary school, Amy.
Good evening. So highlighting Feels Like Forever Ago, our winter concert. So Lexine did her final winter concert, which was a huge success. And then as a special thank you, we had a surprise assembly where the students were able to thank her. They had some cards, and then she led us in her infamous penguin polka. We will be continuing that with our new, music teacher in the future, but she was able to lead that. Speaking of that, we have our long-term music sub for the rest of the year. Emma Say, again, she is doing a phenomenal job just getting a chance to meet the students, build those relationships. She worked with Lexine right after break and had 2 days of shadow, and then Lexine will be continuing to mentor and to support her. But in talking with Lexine too, we're off to a really great start with that. So that's been a success. Looking forward to 4K Roundup on Thursday the 23rd. So we have a lot of students and families signed up for that special event. We still have a little bit more space if anyone would like to join that. And then the staff, just a huge shout out. With Act 20, we've started the assessments that go along with that. So last Monday, we did the reading readiness assessments, and then for any students that have not yet reached the 25th percentile, today they were working on the diagnostic assessments. And so from those two, we will determine those students that no longer need a reading plan. They may have had one in the fall. Students that maybe are still continuing, and we'll be continuing to give them the different intervention that they need to support them. And there may be a couple of students, we have a couple that have, because of the benchmarks changing from fall to spring, or from fall to winter, that will now be getting a reading plan. So just working through all those processes there. Sue Chambers and Katie Greer have been phenomenal with all of this under all of Nick's help here, and then with all the staff working through that. And then last thing was just our PTO. We have, we did this last year, but we have an indoor family picnic this Thursday from 4:30 to 6:30 in the gym. Just a great time for the families to come together. There's games, face painting, scavenger hunt. And then new this year is gonna be a PTO fundraiser for Subways, for subs. So what'll happen is families, last year they could come and bring their own meal. If they want, they can purchase subs ahead of time, and Subway has worked to provide some donations to do that, but we'll have subs for those families there.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
And last but definitely not least, elementary school, OSC.
Well, thank you. So a couple things I want to highlight. First of all, I did not include it on my board report, but winter concerts. Lexine and Mrs. Roberts did a great job with their winter concerts. Students obviously did a great job as well. And as always, there was great support from parents in the community, which says so much to our students about their support that they have from outside of our building. And then wanted to update a little bit on learning in general. And I will tell you that if you come over to our building right now, there's a lot of assessment going on. And that's just the time of the year we're in right now. And it's an exciting time too. It's exciting to see if the things that students have been putting into practice, what impact that's having on their growth. And also for us as staff to see if the things that we're doing are having the impact we want. But as you can see, we have a lot going on. Also, kind of below that, a little update on report cards. So Amy and I, along with Nick, have really worked with our impact teams and staff to make some adjustments to our report cards so that families are getting a consistent and clear communication when it comes to reporting progress. We know that report cards only go home twice per year, but yet at the same time, any communication home we think is important and valuable. So this is the information we shared in my most recent newsletter that went home to families, but I wanted to make sure you were aware as well of those changes and what we're doing to report progress. And then nurturing the whole child, pillar 2, transitions. We know that all of us transition back from things differently, and so we enjoyed those 2 days back from winter break. We use those to not only help kids get back into the routine in general, but also to make it really clear what our expectations are and to kind of reestablish that. Instead of students hearing from me, which I know they always love to hear, we had high school students from the Meeting Man musical come and help me help students understand what it means to be determined to be our best, which is our new community value for this month. Also, classroom teachers went over our behavior expectations and our take a break presentation with their classes. And so just wanted to make sure you were aware of that. It was great to have those high schoolers here. And when we talk about what does Lodi Pride look like, and for students to be able to put a face to people they maybe watched at a show and start to thinking about how their actions now might affect their future, and just how even being in a musical is all about teamwork and how they supported each other and how we support each other every day as well. Also, district workforce, we did do some fun and encouragement in December. One thing that I've always done since I came here is every Friday in December, we try to have little gifts for staff to encourage them to come to work. No, but to tell them about their appreciation, my appreciation for them. And so Kathy Klinke and Deanne Kleinschmidt just do a great job of making something small seem really big. And so staff really appreciate it, and it was just a fun time to have it all. We also added some dress up, so not only did we have our Holiday Spirit Week for students and staff the last week before winter break, but we also did an underground staff dress up the week before, where students would have to try to guess what we were doing, and so that was a fun way to kind of maybe direct some of the extra energy in the month of December. One other thing I want to highlight is we have our monthly themes or gatherings, and Coffee Cart reminded me, so we have teams that are responsible for our monthly gatherings, and this month's team is our special education team, and they, as case managers, and their students have their own coffee. They're not calling it a coffee cart, they're calling it a snack cart, I think they're calling it, that they're taking to staff. So instead of the gathering being in the lounge, these case managers are having their students help encourage staff through a snack cart. So pretty cool stuff going on.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Vince?
Yeah, so again, on my report, first thing I do is want to welcome Jason Brewer to our district. We are so excited that he is joining us here in Lodi. Secondly, just want to echo what Joe said about Pam Cunningham. We are so proud of Pam, the work she does not only here in the district, but as part of the Santa Project, and obviously being recognized as a Citizen of the Year in Lodi is a big deal, and we just appreciate all that she does for our students in and outside of school. Third, as the board knows, and the others, I was named to the Superintendent to Watch recognition by the National School Public Relations Association. First of all, it's very humbling to be nominated for something like that and recognized, knowing all the great leaders that are around our area and the great schools that we have. And secondly, everything we do here in Lodi is because of the unbelievable people I have the chance to work with, privileged to work with every day. Our students, our staff, our board. This is a recognition for all of us. And again, and finally, just want to thank my family, my wife and my kids for all they've given up at times for me to do the things that I do. So just appreciate that, appreciate being nominated. I think it's, again, I see it as an award for our whole district and recognition for our district. So, and finally, two more things. Board administrative retreat is 2 weeks from tonight. So we will meet, we do that every year, meet in the high school. We will do, we'll eat together, which is always good for us to do that together, do some icebreakers, and then walk through the strategic plan and things of that nature. And then finally, Martin Luther King Jr. Day is coming up. That's a work day for staff, but all of our buildings will be closed on Monday, January 20th. All the offices will be closed. Thank you.
All right, thanks. And that superintendent to watch is a good thing. It's not like they're watching.
I know, I thought it was sort of.
That's what I told I was waiting for one of my siblings to say that.
Yeah.
Cut something out, superintendent to watch out for.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope everyone is feeling back in the swing of normal life after the holidays and New Year. Good luck to all high schoolers as they start finals this week, and congratulations for getting through your first semester. And to all primary, elementary, and middle schoolers, you might not have finals, but congrats on almost being through the halfway point of the school year. Another congratulations is for our superintendent, Vince Breinig. In the last month or two, he finished his doctorate, and Dr. Breinig was one of 25 people across the country being recognized as a superintendent to watch by the National School Public Relations Association. Vince stated that this award is definitely a group effort between the staff, administration, and community. I do agree with that. Lodi staff, administration, and students definitely set the bar high, as well as the community members being so dedicated to our student success. Years ago, the district asked our community for direction and to express wants/needs. I feel that our district listened to the community, and Vince has been instrumental in achieving what the district, I keep losing my space, what the community needed from our district. His leadership with our strategic plan has been instrumental to continuing our student successes and the continuation to grow as a district. So thank you to our community for making yourselves heard. Thank you to our amazing staff and administration for working so well together for our students. And of course, thank you and congratulations again to Vince for leading our district so well. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all of our school and community coaches and program directors for getting through a big portion of your current season. I know there is more to come, but I feel like keeping the kids motivated is probably the toughest at this point of the season. So thank you for your dedication and commitment to our kids, for keeping them busy and out of trouble, being a motivating factor for our youth to do well in school, and for teaching them life skills at the same time. And if you have listened to me in the past, you know that one of my favorite things is coming up next week, the state convention. I would like to thank the district and community for giving us board members the opportunity to attend this convention. It is truly one of my favorite things to attend, if I haven't told you guys that. And I'm so appreciative to be able to go. It's so informative, very inspiring, and just plain fun. And this year is extra special for us Lodians. As Caleb stated, Lodi's Vocal Jazz Ensemble is performing at the convention. I'm so excited, and guessing everyone there will know how proud I am of them. I tend to be a little vocal when I'm extremely proud. My kids will attest to this with rolled eyes. I hope everyone stays warm and safe this winter season. As always, thank you to all for making this district and community such an amazing place to live. All right, and then we get to talk about open enrollment limits.
So the school board at its January meeting is required to designate for the following school year the number of open enrollment regular education spaces by grade and the number of open enrollment special education spaces by program or service. The administrative team has reviewed the spaces and the recommendation is attached. The administration just recommended approval of the open enrollment limits as presented.
I have, before somebody makes a motion, is that the right policy number listed to make the motion? Because aren't ours all four
That's
four
probably not the right
digits?
policy number.
Policy.
Oh, you should see me in the policy committee.
Policy police. She's got those
Right,
numbers
Terry.
down.
We can search our policies, can't we?
I even checked the state statutes and everything to make sure that
She
they
does.
align right.
Checks all of them.
Oh, yeah, because I found an error one time.
One time?
Well, I mean, a big one.
Question about
Okay, I could say.
just so I know that I understand with open enrollment, so this means that we could, accommodate, let's say for third grade, it says here 9 spaces, so we could take 9 kids from outside the district to our school. And does that have any relationship to how many like, would that mean that 9 people from our district are elsewhere at another school?
No.
It has nothing to do with that?
No, it has nothing to do with that. We look at the spaces we have with our class, our policy on class sizes.
Okay.
And then look at class sizes and what we could take without having to add another staff member. So, right, so if we have to add, you know, if we had said, what grade did you say? I'm sorry.
I said
Third grade,
third
right?
grade, yeah.
So if we had like 29, right, if 29 kids would come in, we would have to add a teacher.
Okay.
Or, you know, even if you had 15, also we have to add a teacher, so we put limits on there. It's pretty rare we get for those. The areas we get to typically are in special education.
Yeah, which I
where
noticed
we
had a
really-
lot less
yeah.
space.
It's policy 5113.
Thanks, Mo.
5113. I will,
This is why she gets the award.
5113?
Yep.
5113. I will make the motion that per criteria outlined in Board of Education policy number
5113.
5113.
There you go.
Is it the same title? Public school open enrollment?
Open enrollment program.
Okay, open enrollment program, and as required under SP1 or PI 36.042, Wisconsin Administrative Code SPI 36.065A, and Wisconsin Statute S118.51A. The Board of Education for the School District of Lodi hereby adopts the administration designated regular and special open enrollment education spaces for the 2025-2026 school year. That was a mouthful.
And then I'll second that.
All right, motion by Sarah Ramish, second by Terry. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes 6-0. All right, WASB resolutions.
So each year, the Wisconsin Association of School Boards receives resolutions that we brought before the WASB Delegate Assembly at the State Education Convention. This gives delegates from schools around the state a chance to vote on these proposed resolutions. Each district selects a board member to represent their district in this process. Lodi's representative is Ms. Terry Haag. Board members are given the opportunity to review these resolutions and then share whether or not they support the resolution survey. All 7 board members completed the process. Result of the survey had boards supporting supporting all 12 resolutions, but 7 were supported unanimously, 4 of them being supported by a 6-1 vote, and 1 of them being supported 5-2. So either the board can just go straight ahead and say, yep, that's what we're gonna have Terry support all 12 of them, or if they wanna have some discussion prior to us going forward with any of those. And I know there's been some
Yes.
questions about a couple of them, so
Yeah.
I would then open the floor to have questions, talk about them.
So 2506, early childhood education funding and public-private partnerships, which you wrote a beautiful memo on. Thank you for putting that together, which is in the document if anybody wants to read it who's listening. When I first read this one, I thought it was they wanted to make this a mandatory thing, and that's not what it's about. It's about getting it paid for, is the thing what it's about. And so in a district like ours, where we rely less on the state for funding and more on our tax base for funding, it would actually cost quite a bit in our district to do. That's one of the things. And it would take away from our wonderful daycare that we have in this area. But in talking to other school boards and talking about it at the CISA 5, there's a bunch of school districts who do get more aid from the state and less from their taxpayers, and they're dying to have this thing come in because they do not have good
Any
private daycare in the area. And so for the other parts of the state, not us, but other parts of the state, this would be a very good thing to do. That's what I learned.
And I just think as a delegate, what I need to also say is that resolutions are resolutions, and it says we support these. It doesn't mean that they'll happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It never, that means that WASB supports them, so.
They are worded so poorly sometimes, though, and you have to read them.
Well, I wonder if I didn't. So it doesn't mean that.
You do, no school district has to do this in any way.
And it doesn't mean that it will happen.
They're just saying they would fund.
So if it were, so let's say if it were to proceed, pass,
And the legislature
And the
picked it up and funded it.
does the legislature, well, is there the potential, though, that the legislature says, this is what you have to do?
Right, so anything like that, we don't have a choice.
Right.
And that's on all kinds of things, not just this.
Yeah.
But the chance of it getting that far, but, I mean,
Slim to none.
slim to none.
Well, and currently 4K is not that way, right? 4K is not required.
No.
I mean, we offer 4K. It's good for our kids and good for our district, but it's not a requirement. I would be surprised if the state would come back and say, we're gonna require districts to do 3K, 4K. Because just as Adam said, it depends on where you live, like quality. There's places that have daycare islands, right? They're childcare islands, and right, the third 3K and 4K are where the daycares are also making their money,
Right.
right? Because they can have more kids per staff member versus infants and small children, so. And if you look at this memo, for us, the district, we'd have to consider it, but it's a space issue and staffing issue that we don't have right now.
This was well put together, thank you. Yep.
No, I don't think, Amy worked on putting that together as well as the crew.
Nicely put together,
as well.
you guys.
It's a team effort.
I mean, it was everything I was thinking in the back of my head, but hadn't been able to pull together, and it was like, yeah, that's, yeah.
That's what we mean for a little.
No, it's great, thank you. I would just like to bring up the accountability and school report card standards. I would like to turn this over to Nick, just because I had questions about it.
Yeah, so it looks like the proposal is to advocate for the school and district accountability report cards to be solely based on achievement. You may recall from digging into those report cards with me, they're really based on 4 areas right now: achievement, growth, target group outcomes, which ensures that districts are being measured on, are you not solely supporting your top performing students, but all students, and then on track to graduation. So this is one, just, I probably lean towards myself, again, this is a board decision. If it was just me, I'd probably lean towards not supporting this one. If you look at the history and have a deeper understanding of how the school accountability report cards were created, it really is a bipartisan effort in the legislature to put into statute the working rules for the report cards. To develop really a comprehensive accountability system and not just look at one thing solely. I'll be honest with you, for the school district of Lodi, our growth has been one of the top growth districts in the state, but if you were to solely look at our achievement score, we're also in the top third of districts in the state of Wisconsin. So for us, doesn't affect us that much, but I can tell you I've worked in other districts where demographics are different, especially when you look at, for example, level of affluence or level of percentage of students who come from economically disadvantaged households. And when you look at, regardless of the student that comes into your system, how you grow them as a school system, take them where they're at, and over time, do they grow academically within your school system? Weight should be placed on that, from my perspective. That's, yeah.
What number was that one?
That was 2508.
So.
Well, there's 2508 and 2509.
Nick, could you give us maybe 1 or 2 more examples, just 'cause I'm trying to fully understand this, of what would be some other criteria that could be considered besides, socioeconomic background, and also the calculation of just like these tests? What would be some other criteria?
Can you give me some more information about what you're looking for?
Well, since you're saying you wouldn't necessarily support this resolution, like what do you think, like how could it be changed so, and I know that that's not like our role, we can't change this, but I'm just curious, what do you think with your expertise would make this more fair maybe? Because it's like, I sort of read it and I'm like, I'm not sure if this is like something fair across the
But you
board.
have to look at it, what we have now, and
Yeah.
what they're thinking of changing it to. So that's the difference. Right, so right now they look at growth, achievement, There's two other things, there's four things.
Target group outcomes, which
Yeah.
is how are you serving the students who are in your bottom quartile? So it's ensuring that you're being measured on, are you serving all students?
Okay.
And then on track to graduation.
On track to graduation. So they wanna take all those and just go to achievement.
Right, okay, so you're if I understand, then you're saying you think that the way that it has been is better.
I think the way that it is right now
It's better.
is better than what's being suggested.
Okay, got it,
Yeah.
yep.
So then, let me add more. So talking to the other school boards at the state level and then talking at CISA 5, there are a number of districts who are very high achieving and they've quote unquote wrung out all the growth they can get from their students is what came back. And so they feel penalized because they're up against the growth ceiling. They can't grow them anymore. They're growing them as much as possible. And so that's one reason to get rid of growth. And then another, as Nick mentioned, districts who have far more kids who are in financial problems or issues like that, they feel they're being penalized because they're not getting enough growth out of those students. And so I think that's the reason for this kind of resolution. Again, Lodi,
Do you think that would make the
don't have those
district
issues.
kind of
but
work harder though, or no? Like if.
I
you know-
personally think the current system favors districts. I mean, you take students where they're at. It doesn't matter where they're at. You take them where they're at and you grow them, right? That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
And so if they're low and you're growing them, then you're great. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how low they are.
Okay, so that's what I was kind of thinking, is like, I almost feel like it would be more of a motivator, like, let's really work on the growth, and if we take the growth out of there,
Then it's just what they get on those scores.
yeah, and I've never been a fan of just the test scores, but,
I feel
so.
like I might not have answered that right.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
we're
these
I know.
two,
Well,
That's
that's
why
why
we
we're
want it.
discussing, that's why we're discussing, because I think these are really confusing
we wanted
sometimes.
Yeah.
It's very
Sometimes I have to leave it.
I mean, I don't
and go
like
back.
the achievement only.
Right.
No,
That's why I'm thinking I answered that question incorrectly.
That's fine. You can change your vote right
you can
now.
change that.
I would not support that.
Yeah, I don't favor
That's
that
why
either.
sometimes I don't understand what they're saying, and that's why I just email.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, again, board decision, I am in favor of having growth as part of the measure. Any board member who sits with me, when you first get on the board, you sit down and I'm analyzing our educational programs. I look at, what's the achievement look at like in that area? What's the growth look like in that area? I wanna know, do we have either above average achievement or do we have above average growth happening? Because those are indicators to me that we're finding some levels of success. I would really struggle to just say, only look at
Yeah.
achievement. I wanna take any student who comes to us and I wanna say our system is growing them, regardless of their starting point.
Right.
Yeah.
I would argue our district is on track to be one that does bump up to that growth ceiling though. I mean, over the next few years, at the trajectory we're on, we will be in that place. So, I'm not saying I support this in any way, I'm just saying we'll be there.
I also wanna
I also
just
feel like
say,
that's not
I
the worst
don't think that
problem.
the current system is perfect, and I
No.
actually don't believe there is a perfect system. Just when you think of how every district is different, right, in the state of Wisconsin, to just say, there's gonna be a perfect system for telling you, you know, how well this district does compared to that district. I do not think there's a perfect system. I also don't think that we get closer to a perfect system by going to solely achievement.
Yeah.
Can we do
Straw poll.
like a straw vote or a roll, or a,
We can just make a motion on this one. If you
Yeah.
wanna talk on about 2508, it won't be on school report cards. You want somebody to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to not support 2508.
Okay, I second that.
Oops. Motion by Adam, second by Terry. Any more discussion or questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, so that motion passes 6-0. I believe all the other resolutions, we were all in agreement.
They all
or-
passed
the-
on that.
The daycare one. I mean, the 3K one.
So at that pass, so you can, again, if you wanna
The
have a
3K
discussion
one,
about
if we
that
don't want it, we
and
have
vote.
to do a straw vote.
Right, so on that one, I would argue, in places that do not have daycare, right, which is a lot of our state, this is a huge benefit to them. It doesn't force us to do it.
No.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
Allows them to do it.
so I feel like we are still in favor of that one, or are people thinking that,
Want to just take the vote and see?
well, do we wanna make a motion, or we wanna just take a vote?
Just take an aye. Everybody still in agreement?
With the daycare one?
Very much, yeah.
Okay, okay, and no, okay, so the board, yeah, agrees on that one. So is all the other, I mean, don't
The
have it
other
in front of
ones,
me.
I don't think anybody had anything on.
Did anyone else?
There's decoupling public and private school funding, that wasn't unanimous, but I don't know if people wanna talk about it.
We
That
can,
was-
does anybody,
2504.
again, I had to ask Brent about this one too, because.
2504?
Can Brent talk about it a little?
Brent or Jason, if you don't mind, would that, whatever, whoever wants to. You business managers are in a class of your own all the
I'm working
time.
on budget analysis, say it again.
So there is a resolution here from WASB that they support decoupling public and private school funding from each other.
2404.
Isn't it true, Brent, that when the
2504.
state puts out their
2504,
budget for schools, that the private vouchers come out of that funding first? They get all their money, and then the rest is divided among public schools. And so we take a hit for that,
Correct.
right?
So we would be in
Each school
favor, yeah.
district takes a hit for that.
Correct.
Yeah.
We
And
would
that's-
be in favor of decoupling.
That's the reason.
They get more aid per pupil.
Right, but that's the reason for decoupling, is to make it fair to the public.
Want that to be a yes.
To make it more clear.
So yes,
Yeah, I think I answered that one correctly.
see, that's what I'm saying. And
There is no correct or incorrect.
Well, I mean,
No.
I shouldn't say correct, but the way,
We always get to talk about them, which
Yeah.
is good.
No, and that's great though, because it just makes more discussion and we all are
Yeah,
clear
yeah,
on it. It's not, because I would have probably answered it wrong if I didn't email.
And again, we spent hours and hours and hours at the WASB convention going over these. But again, they're resolutions. That doesn't mean that any of them
Yeah.
are seen in the next, yeah.
right. Okay. Then do we need to make a motion to have the remaining, to have Lodi's WASB delegate representative vote for the resolutions that align with the
Well, the
board's direction?
2509 and 2510, there wasn't unanimous either, but if everybody is, if.
Sounds like Sarah's making a motion.
I'm making a motion,
Oh, you are, okay, I'm sorry.
without the,
Other two.
the other two, because we voted on those separately.
I'll second that.
So all of them, we're just saying that we're keeping it as is, except the.
Except the two we pulled out individually.
Okay, so motion by Sarah. And I'm sorry, did
Sarah.
Sarah.
Sarah R, Sarah R.
Sarah and Sarah. Yeah, that's
Sarah R. Sarah R.
Any more discussion then? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes 6-0. So Terry is our
Delegate.
representative, delegate. And we usually have someone go just
I
in
am.
case. And you're able to? Okay, because I'll sit in it with you too. I just like to go, but then we can all, but if you're the backup, it would just be nice to have official backup. Are you
So
able to
that's
get there?
Tuesday evening at 7.
Oh, Tuesday evening at 7?
Right. Because you
Wait, is
don't,
that the actual?
right, but you don't have to go to the actual delegation thing. Because you could if you wanted to, but you don't get to vote. The night that we talk about kind of getting ready, that when I was gonna be
Yes,
the-
so she does, you don't vote that night though?
No.
Okay.
So
You
I'm
just
coming from
figure it out.
work.
Yeah, so if you don't go Tuesday, that's the end of the world, but then you can go when she actually votes.
I mean, I'll be there Tuesday night,
I'm
I
not
just
sure
don't know
which
what
one.
time.
Yeah, I guess you could, but
Yeah,
you miss
maybe.
a whole lot of
We
other
can talk
stuff.
about it at.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because I just,
Don't
it
worry
all
about
depends on what work and
Okay,
what we get for admissions, so.
okay. All right, let's move on to board self-evaluation.
All right, so all the board members completed and submitted their self-evaluation information. They reviewed the next step is really for us to review the information. So as you see, the information was tabulated and uploaded to board docs. Looking at the information that's gathered, there does not seem to be any areas that need to be addressed based on the rating scales, as the board generally rated themselves highly in those areas. The board members are also able to add comments, which they also listed in the document. I think one of the themes that arose when looking at the comments section of the self-evaluation document that is worth noting is how well the board feels they work together. There are several comments regarding this, even though board members come from their own opinions on agenda items, the board meetings are respectful places where productive dialogue takes place. I think this also may be a result of the board development work that the board has taken advantage of with Drew Horwig. We look back at last year's board self-evaluation, having some extra meetings to work on governance and building relationships between members was an area that was seen as a need. So we addressed that, and it seems to have, have worked, or it seems to be reflected back in the self-evaluation. So I don't know if there's any additional steps we need to take.
I mean, I think we all looked it over. Does anybody want to say any comments? I mean, I think you summed it up pretty well, but.
I found the whole work we did with Drew really valuable. I mean, he's so good at keeping, like, making it warm and inviting, but also it was fun, but it was also like we had tangible outcomes with the things that we discussed, and he kept us on schedule. And
He did.
yeah, and as someone being new to the board, I feel like I got to know people better and learn more about how things operate, so it was a good experience.
I think it's very beneficial. And then obviously our collective commitments, I think we kind of all looked over that again too, and we were.
They look fine.
All good with stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think, typically we have the board go back through and read them. We just did this in October.
Yeah.
Right, so I don't think you have to go back and reread them. You can move to reaffirm your commitment to them if you would like. You don't need to either.
I'll make a move to reaffirm our board collective agreements.
No, second.
Motion by Terry, second by Adam. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes 5-0. State convention.
So the Minor State Education Convention is coming up next week. All the board except for one member is attending. Just a reminder, the school district of Lodi will be part of 3 different presentations at the State Education Conference.
Yeah, which ones are they again?
We will be, presentation will be, the first one will be how to build business partnerships in rural school districts. Nick and Joe and I will be doing that presentation. Don't miss the boat, your passport to staffing hard to fill positions. I will be doing that with Boardman and Clark and some other people from the university, talking about hiring people from outside the country to fill positions. And then the last one will be school marketing made easy. I'm doing it with our social media partner as well. And then as we've talked already, the highlight's going to be having our high school a cappella group perform for the entire convention on Friday morning, prior to the last keynote speaker. So we are one of only 3 groups from across the state chosen to perform.
Yes.
High praise and looking forward to that.
You're gonna be busy.
Yeah.
He's superintendent to watch.
To watch.
He is.
Watching you.
We'll see if anybody comes and watches.
I feel like we should make you a hat or something that says that.
Like one of those
Yeah. I also feel like we should bring like a flat Stanley, like flat Scott Fancy with us, since he's the only one that can't go.
Take pictures of him.
Yeah.
You all have a summary for that while you're gone, with all your confirmations and numbers, everything, and in there is when he speaks and when.
This is how we
So
find
there's an
everybody.
agenda there for things, like dinners or events we're going to, there's phone numbers, your confirmation for your room. We'll put that all together for you.
Thank you,
So
Mom.
Thank you for keeping us organized.
I know.
the first session that Vince is going to speak at about the business partnership, if board members who have been a part of that or know of that, if you show up to that, there will be board members who come up to you as a board member and say, right, because he will, if you're in that room, he will say, and our board is here.
Yeah.
They will come up to you afterwards and ask you questions about how that works. So,
They're gonna say if we go, we get like a brownie or
yeah,
something.
no, but if you want to help,
I thought the
attend
same
that
thing.
session.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's a good idea. It's exciting. And I get to be in a hotel room all by myself, and nobody bugs me. That's one of the other things that's exciting. That's what I told Mo. I never get to be by myself ever. I know, I'm so excited.
I was at a superintendent's conference once, and I was walking out the door, driving home to Madison, and somebody who was from farther up north was like sitting by the door, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, there's all these things going on. And he goes, there's football on, I'm ordering pizza, I'm in my room by myself. Awesome.
Yeah.
That was his comment, he said.
It's true.
I had the remote.
Yeah. So he was sitting pretty.
All right, school board election update.
Yeah, so there, excuse me, there are 2 seats up for election in this April's election. Heather Behrens and Scott Bilsey are at the end of their 3-year term. So there are 3 people who have declared their intent to run for these 2 positions. There will be no need for a primary election this year, so the candidates will be on the ballot for the general election, which is scheduled for Tuesday, April 1st. 3 candidates are Heather Barron and Michael Hendricks. Heidenreich. Yeah. I will let you know exactly how it's pronounced. I'm meeting with him on Thursday. And as I do anytime somebody runs for the board, I always offer to meet with them and answer any questions they may have. So I will meet with him on Thursday and get to know him a little bit better. Awesome. And then answer any questions. And again, for other candidates, I'm always available as well for any questions you may have. Thanks for running.
I have questions for you.
Do you have lots of questions? You know where to find me.
And I feel like Mo's probably happy there's
Not primary.
We're always happy there's some primary, especially when we're the only ones. There's a primary for the state superintendent.
Yeah,
So
there is
there
a
was a
primary
primary this year, so.
Oh, okay.
The year we did it by ourselves, that was a little expensive.
All right, well, thank you. Policy reviews.
Yeah, so the policy committee met last Thursday to review the most recent updates recommended by Neola. The committee reviewed and unanimously moved 18 policies and administrative guidelines to the board with recommendation for approval. The committee also reviewed and unanimously moved 3 of those policies to the full board with recommendation to rescind policies. I wrote a memo to clarify why Neola is recommending the policies are being rescinded. Hopefully that explained the information contained. But this information is contained in other policies. We're not just doing away with one of them's due process rights. We're not doing away with due process rights. It's in another policy. There's some medical things. It's in another policy. So that's why I wanted to make sure that was clear that those policies aren't going away.
It's a little shocking to see it all crossed off.
Yeah, so right. So that's getting crossed off. But
Seems important. Yeah.
that's why it's in other policies, and they're trying to get away from that duplication because it's hard to keep them straight.
Yeah.
Make sure they stay up to date.
When they
So
get.
I would recommend approval of
Okay.
all those.
So just a procedural note, none of these policies are linked here, and they're normally linked here. And that must be partially a nightmare, right? Because you have to link them all for the policy committee, and then come back in here and relink them all
Yeah.
again. Could you just preside one link here that goes back to the policy meeting, and then you won't have to do it twice? Because that's how I found them. I just went to the policy meeting and read them all there.
Right.
So that might make your life easier.
Make the person's life behind you easier.
Easier.
Yeah.
No, that's a great idea.
So I'll make a motion to approve the administrative guidelines and policy revisions as presented.
No, second.
Motion by Terry, second by Adam. Any more discussion, questions, anything?
Nope, that will help. Thank you, Deb.
Yeah. Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 6-0. All right, gifts and donations.
Just make the motion instead of reading it twice. Just go for it. Just read
Oh,
it.
me, I said, okay, I was like, what? I thought you were talking about policy. I was like,
No.
I will make a motion to accept with great gratitude the donation of $500 from the Lodi Presbyterian Church for meals for families in need, the donation of $840 grant from Sauk Prairie Healthcare Foundation for crew, movement, and strength class equipment, and the donation of $1,000 from B. Schultz Insurance for crew and pool programming.
I'll second.
All right, motion by myself, second by Sarah Ramish. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Thank you for those. And I did want to say on here, it did give more a little bit more description of just what it goes to. Obviously, the Brian Schultz, they do that, and then people that maybe that can't afford the programs, that is going to that. And then that the strength, movement and strength is for elderly people, just to
Yes.
keep their movement.
Keep them standing.
Yep. And obviously the Lodi Presbyterian Church is for meals for families in need, so thank you guys very, very much. All right, our committee reports, CISA 5.
We discussed the resolutions that you just discussed.
Which we just did.
That was our meeting.
Okay,
And there was some other minor stuff.
okay, thank you. Co-curricular items report.
I am passing this over to our friend Caleb, 'cause I'm not reading that.
Okay.
In your current.
Wrestling. Lodi Wrestling has had an exciting last few weeks of competition. Last Monday, the team hosted its first ever girls-only wrestling tournament with nearly 100 girls in attendance. Last Tuesday, the team traveled to Prairie du Chien for a duel. Lodi took down the number 3 ranked Division II team by a score of 43-35. Last Thursday, they competed in the Capital Conference North duels, going 4-0 against Lake Mills, Sugar River, Columbus, and Lakeside. Lastly, this past Friday, the team placed third in the 20-team Duffy tournament in Port Washington. Owen Breinig and Brady Dorhorst placed first in their respective weight classes. Boys basketball. The boys basketball team has an overall record of 8-3 with a conference record of 1-0. Last week, the boys had a dominant 108-53 win at home over Waterloo. On Friday night, the team headed to neighboring Gwinnett for their first conference action, coming away with an impressive 71-41 victory. On Saturday, the boys lost a close game to Dominican by a score of 87-83. Their next home game is this Friday against Columbus for Rock the Gym. Girls basketball. The girls basketball team has an overall record of 8-5 and a conference record of 1-0. They took on conference opponent Cambridge on December 7th, coming away with a 50-43 victory. Recent wins include a 59-49 win at Evansville and a dominant 62-27 win at Baraboo. The team takes on conference opponent Lakeside Lutheran tonight in Lodi and will host Lake Mills for Rock the Gym on Friday night. Boys Hockey Co-op. The South Central Navigators hockey team is 3-6 with a conference record of 2-4. Recent wins include a 3-2 win over conference opponent Sauk Prairie and a 2-0 win over Pacelli. Thank you. Last Tuesday, the Navigators lost a close game against conference opponent Beaver Dam by a score of 4-5. Their next home game will be this Friday night against Oshkosh North. I don't know why that's hard to say tonight. Mock trial. The mock trial team has had a busy last few weeks, participating in the Wanakee, Madison West, and Sun Prairie scrimmages. On Saturday, January 4th, the team participated in the Brookfield Central Knockout Tournament. And the varsity team went 2-0 in the Supreme Court Division, and 10 students received a score of either 9 or 10 out of 10. And this Saturday, we will host the Lodi tournament at the Sauk County Courthouse starting at 8 a.m. And then finally, forensics. The forensics team has been busy practicing ahead of their competition season. The team will kick off its competition season on Saturday, January 25th, the DeForest tournament.
Wow.
Thank you.
See, you guys are busy. Thank you. OSC.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I was unable to be at the last meeting. Thank you to Eric Shinneman for providing these meeting notes. So at the last meeting, which was on December 18th, the board met at Mary Klein's house. They had a meeting and shared a meal together, and during the meeting, they discussed WIN, which is what I need or what you need, and our current practices to help students that are struggling and how we can help students that need challenges or extensions. They shared different resident experts. They discussed different resident experts that have come in and shared their area of expertise with OSC students.
I know. I can't read tonight
Like,
either.
I can't read. Sauk Prairie Healthcare came in to talk about nutrition. Columbia County Land and Water Conservation Department came in, and the Columbia County Health Nurse came in. There was also discussion on OSC fundraising. They have over 40 jars of OSC lemonade jelly, which was an awesome student-created label that was chosen and printed. They're working with Anna and a Jam here, based in Lodi, to have more jars before they start selling the jelly. There was also further discussion about the OSC Charter Renewal Committee, which met on December 9th, and they started going through the new charter document. That group meets on January 13th, which is actually today, okay? And then our next board meeting is just this coming Wednesday at 3:15 at OSC.
Awesome. Thank you. Board committee reports. We will start with personnel, which.
I can do it.
Do you want?
So we met in closed session for the whole time, and we discussed that in closed session here.
Yeah.
And so I think that covers it.
Yeah. Thank you for taking over on that. Curriculum.
We did not meet.
Oh, okay.
We are going to meet.
Okay. Facility and finance
We did not meet.
and policy.
We already went through
Yeah,
everything.
okay. We're
More
a wordy
updates
bunch
coming.
tonight. Our committees are
You
very
said that was
wordy.
like half of them?
Yeah, so we'll another have to come forward, yep.
We have things to read.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
All right, so our upcoming meetings, we have, let's see, our next regular school board meeting is on Monday, February 10th, 5:30 closed session, 6:30 open. Our personnel is going to be Thursday, February 6th at 4:30. Policy is February 6th at 6. And we were supposed to have a special board meeting this Wednesday. We are not. We rescheduled to have 2 special board meetings on Monday, January 20th, 4 and 5:30. State convention next week.
It's gonna be a busy week.
And we have our administrative board retreat on January 27th. And then shortly after that, we have our curriculum committee meeting on Tuesday, January 28th at 4:30. And Facility and Finance Committee, Tuesday, January 28th at 6 o'clock. And I do want to mention, I did have someone come up to me and ask about public input for the committee meetings. You do not need to sign up for those. You can just show up and we'll do public input as is. These board meetings, we prefer if you sign up, so. But the committee meetings, you can just show up. And I do not believe we have to go back into closed session.
Then I will make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second.
All right, motion by Sarah Ramish, second by Adam. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?